The Research and Education Insight 2021, or we call it Redi 2021 for short. Together with Malaysia Research and Education Foundation, we've been running this series of Pocket Talk since November for those uninitiated. So, however, if you ever wondered how you can be a social innovator or how to start a successful startup, it's not easy. I'm telling you right now, it's not easy. Also, the fact that into social entrepreneurship, if you want to know the path to success, to answer all those burning questions, we have an experienced professional in the field to share his views and important insights. We will be talking to Encik Redza Shahid of Magic. But before that, before we go into our talk, a friendly reminder, okay? To take part in all the virtual event next week, Monday and Tuesday, do register, log into www.myref.org.my or voices.my, okay? The virtual event is free and open to all, especially for students and working professionals. Just register to get your personal invitation. Again, for more information, check out MyRef's website at www.myref.org.my or Voices Malaysia at voices.my. Okay. Website sendiri pun tak ingat. Okay, right. Let's jump into today's talk. As mentioned, this morning we have Encik Redza Shahid, who is with the social innovation team at Malaysia Global Innovation and Creative Centre, MAGIC for short. Okay, though Encik Redza graduated with a degree in accounting, however, I think his passion, we all actually tak pernah pun work in whatever we graduate from, right? However, as I was saying, his passion and experience for social entrepreneurship has steered him into officially launching Grub Cycle after joining Magic Accelerator Program. Okay, good morning, Encik Redza. Thank you for being with us today.
Hi, morning Adi, morning everyone. Hi, thank you for the lovely introduction.
Panjang kan?
Hi, yeah.
Okay, we were talking about you started a social entrepreneurship called Grub Cycle, kan? Like I said just now, I did a bit of research on it. It looks really interesting. Can you just talk about it sikit before we go into Magic and social entrepreneurship?
Can. So, I started Grub Cycle 5 years ago. Time to join Magic as a program, and Magic just recently launched. I think the idea of Grub Cycle is basically we talk about environment. Then we talk about food waste. Of course, there's a lot of food waste, not in Malaysia, globally juga. But we feel that people know food waste is a problem, but they don't know how to contribute, how to solve. So what we do is we know a lot of restaurants. Diorang ada like surplus food at the end of the day, like pizza, pie, sushi. So what we do is we have an app to connect this surplus to consumer, and then we sell around 30% to 50% discount. Then people can buy at a cheaper price. Of course, it's not as fresh, but it's still consumable.
All right. So all that money, I guess, it goes when I was reading up on Grub Cycle, it goes back to the society, correct?
Yes.
Hence the social entrepreneurship.
Yes, correct. So from there on, because Grub Cycle, then we launched another one called Pasar Grub, where Pasar Grub memang solely focus on B40. So for of course, the Grub Cycle is focusing on the app, which is not everyone have the app, kan? So what we do is from what we do, surplus from restaurants, surplus semua, and then the funds that we get, we started Pasar Grub, and Pasar Grub pula is actually selling overproduced vegetables every Saturday at B40 flats, at PPR flats. We have in Lebah, Subang, we have in KL. So this is like the full cycle lah. We help, because I think for me, if you really want to help, like saving the environment, you have to touch all T20, M40, B40. Then baru you say it's fair for everyone. So we have both avenue untuk both target segment lah.
Agreed. So kalau I want to know where you guys are having your macam pasar pagi lah.
Macam pasar pagi lah. Yeah. So everything is on Pasar Grub lah. That one we set a new segment called Pasar Grub.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You are right now with Magic?
Yes.
Okay. What do you do there?
So I just joined Magic actually last year. The goal of me, why I joined Magic, because I feel I've been running my own startup as social enterprise for the last 5 years. And in fact, before I joined, why I started my SE pun sebab I feel that there's a need to improve. But orang cakap, if you want to improve something, you have to run it. So you have to be in it, then baru you tahu what needs to be improved. So after 5 years, I see a lot of gaps actually in the ecosystem. And that's why I joined Magic, to say that at least whatever Magic want to do, any programs, I'll be like the voice of social enterprise, social entrepreneurship. So it's more like I can say like, okay, you want to do this based on my experience, based on my peers of under in the scene ecosystem. This might not be relevant. So that's my initial, I would say like my strength lah dalam Magic. But of course, I would love to learn, because I think kita dah biasa hidup yang macam people will say like, hey, why they are not doing this? Why government are not doing this? Why agency are not doing this? So I think this is my job to go in and to understand. Oh, no wonder they are not doing this because of this. So I want to be the balance between both on the government side and also both on the on ground side. So I'm like being the voice of both lah. I think that's the reason why I joined Magic.
That's a good interesting. Alright. Okay, out of curiosity, macam you cakap tadi pasal being in the middle semua kan. Katakanlah I know Magic does a lot of things. Magic, MDEC, semua. These are government punya affiliation lah. Right. They help people to actually stand on their own. So, for example, I'm running an online radio. Ni nak tanya sikit ni.
Okay.
Most of you guys, even my creative for that matter, do not have anything that is for content. TV, yes. TV ada, film ada, radio tidak ada. Is that a possibility of, let's just say, I masuk kat Magic, I kata, I want to do this. Okay. I know, I'm getting you.
I mean, I can answer this. I can answer this. So I would say, I usually, when I answer a question, because based on my experience, I will answer from my own personal point of view. Meaning that if you want to apply for something, it's always see what do they have for you. What's the win for them? Not actually what's the win for you. So example, you're saying you're running a radio content, right? Then you want to apply for a grant or apply for a program. So you're not going to a like competition or grant provider by giving what you have. You have to go by seeing that, okay, with the grants or program that they have, how they can help you. So example, if you're talking about radio content, if you're talking your content is more on social entrepreneurship, then it makes more sense to go to Magic to help on social entrepreneurship content. But if you go there by going like, this is what I have, like with my own content, what I'm doing right now, and then that's the separation link. People tak faham. Like, hey, what you do is totally not related to us. But if you go by saying that, okay, this is a program for this, I'm going to go there and saying that with the support that you guys give, I'm going to start my own social enterprise, social entrepreneurship content, something like that. Because that's how, when I started my business, I noticed a lot of people are saying that they apply for this, they apply for that, tak dapat apa semua. And we, Grab Cycle, we raised more than 1 million ringgit within 4 months of our early operations. Because that's how we angle. It's not saying that of course, we don't have the idea in the first place, but because of that program, baru kita macam, actually this program can help me to scale my business to go another level. I think Pasar Grab started because of that, because we saw there's a program for B40, grant for B40. We feel that, maybe this is a chance for us to use it as a validation. I think that's what people should see it. There's a lot of government agency out there. It's not for you to like sustain your business. It's more for you to use government agency to validate your idea.
I like that. A lot of people think it's to sustain their business, to look for grants and ni. Yeah, I think that you are correct. Let me rephrase that. You are correct. Okay. The other thing is also, you are also right in the sense that I realize kalau if you're not in it, you don't know how to change it, or you don't know how to upscale it. So you got to start something. In terms of fresh graduate pula kan, they're starting out. They have all these ideas and ideology. Then they say, I want to do this, or whatever. They think is best. How do you actually get fresh graduate who comes to you and say, I want to do this? I give you a paper or a proposal. Do you guide them?
Yes. So for me, because I've done this, I've in it for quite some time, and I do a lot
Mm-hmm.
of coaching for programs as well. So what
Mm-hmm.
I did is basically when like graduates, right, when they come to me or come to a program to say that they want to start something, I always give them like number one, look beyond Malaysia. Look beyond Malaysia is not in terms of look at problem statement. No, look at ideas beyond Malaysia because right now a lot of ideas are too similar. Because kita kat Malaysia ni tengok okay someone is doing this and we have this thought of like I just want to make it better. Better dia macam dalam 10% 20% better. So that's not a point of separation.
Uh-huh.
But if you look at global, there's a lot of ideas and haven't reached Malaysia yet. I think that's where example that's how Grabsker started pun. Because we talk
Right.
about a lot of food waste, orang
Yep.
tak terfikir pun nak connect apa semua. So I think that's number one I told the students, look beyond Malaysia. Tengok apa yang idea kat US, kat Europe, Australia, even Singapore. Dan tengok, try kat Malaysia because in this kind, if you bring something new, it's easier for you to get grants or maybe investor. Because it's like, this is something new, I want to explore. Because bila buat benda sama, orang takut macam, dah diorang buat lah, that kind of thing.
Uh-uh.
Number two, for fresh graduates, I would also suggest them, if possible, join corporate. Join corporate for 6 months to 1 year, not because of the reason being because diorang kena faham how corporate works.
Right.
They kena understand how does the approval works, how does the hierarchy works, how the office politics works. Because I remember when I started, I applied for like we wanted to have a meeting with one of the supermarket. Then macam I hantar email like sebulan, 2 bulan,
tak
3
jawab.
bulan ataupun when I met a meeting with them, oh suka. Tapi after that 3-4 months no response. If
Right.
I never work in corporate, I will be so mad at them. But because I worked in corporate before, at least temporary, I understand actually no matter how people love how what you did, like the first level of meeting, you never know bos orang mungkin fikir macam, oh this is just like additional, why you want to do that? So being in a corporate help you on that and also help you on team because bila kita startup ni kita tak structure. Kita buat je buat. So kita bila ayah pekerja pun pekerja macam actually what's the goal of the company? Tak ada hierarchy, tak ada structure. So if you work in corporate, you somehow have that experience yang okay, let's start be like proper or structure since day one. So I'm saying that sometimes if they work corporate, if they feel it's best for them, it's okay. If they feel is not bad, at least they try. Because kadang especially parents kan, parents sekarang kan, kerja kat corporate, kerja GLC, kerja government. So at least when you try, you can go there and saying that dah cuba lah, tapi tak ada, it's just not my taste. So I think I always tell them like, startup is fun, cool, but reality is really tough lah.
But you're true about the parent part because any parent would want their child to work in a stable environment.
True.
Because to them, startup is you sure esok ada gaji.
I went through that as well. I went through that. I think because I started from a global company and then go to local and then start a startup. My parents macam, are you sure you can do this semua apa semua? But I think what I told them is just like give me 1 year. Kalau dalam 1 year I fail, I'll do whatever you want me to do. And alhamdulillah, here I am right now, and they are happy lah. So that's a good thing.
Of course lah. I mean, you're doing pretty well dekat Magic Phone. Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. We were talking about just before we all started ni. We were talking about social entrepreneurship and social enterprise. You kata that is to you it's a similar thing, right?
Yeah.
Could you just you just reiterate lah? I think we got some new people coming in today.
Yeah.
So the difference between social entrepreneurship and social enterprise.
So one thing about this term social enterprise is so broad and I also say subjective. Because if you go globally, you can't even find one country that give a specific definition. Because everyone gonna have a different definition. But we in Malaysia have like in Magic, Magic and MIDAC, basically we come up with SE accreditation. We make it simple that you must have a specific target beneficiary. You have a sustainable business model, even when you plan for it. And then also you have a clear social value that you want to do. So with this, right, it's because it's a great area where you can say Grab pun can be a social enterprise juga. Because they're helping people to earn income. But if you want to be termed as a social entrepreneurship, you have to really make sure that it's in your business objective. If you say that my business objective is a balance between creating an impact and also creating a sustainable business model, then yes, you're social entrepreneurship. But if you're saying that my goal is to really build a business where I can scale 3x revenue, 10x revenue, and then subsequently I may create an impact, then that's not social entrepreneurship. So it's
Right.
really a gray area.
Uh-uh.
And right now, the only place where you can really identify you as a social enterprise is through social enterprise accreditation. But sadly, there's no more being run by Magic. I mean, I won't say sad lah. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
something that sad in the sense where I cannot help you.
All right.
But
Okay.
now it's being led by MIDAC, Ministry of
Oh,
Entrepreneurship
okay.
Development.
I see.
So
So it's
they're
just
taking over. Just that
change.
right
Sorry.
now, change of agency yang handle. Just that I mean, in my sense, I'm sorry to say, but I cannot help you lah. Meaning, I don't know what's the latest criteria. It just recently changed starting 1st January.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Um. So correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but usually people who have disposable incomes are the
Mm-mm.
one who are able to be social entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Okay. So how can a person who, let's say we're talking about fresh graduates, can
Mm-mm.
start his or her own uh, right path into being a social entrepreneurship? I know you said just now, start with work with a apa ni, corporate environment,
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
to know corporate environment. Okay, that's one of it. But
Yeah.
katakanlah that really doesn't work. So what do I do as a fresh graduate?
Yeah. For me, the most cliche answer is if your intention is right, things will always go right. That's the
Yeah,
cliche
yeah.
one lah. But in reality, so there's two. Like for me, actually, there's no right or wrong.
Okay.
People say like even there are some people say the best time to start an entrepreneurship is when you're age 40, but that's where you have a disposable income, right? And so you have a network. But if you just started, actually, it's a good start because imagine like for me the way I see it, if a university students want to start something, when you email to like existing startups or social enterprise, they don't mind sharing to you. Macam ala student, we want to
Mm,
help you.
mm,
So
mm,
that's a
mm.
good start,
Okay.
right? Number two, in terms of why I feel students is also a good right age gap to start is because you guys are hunger with intention and you guys are more tech savvy in the sense where you guys are more resourceful in the sense where if you guys really want it, you guys will Google as many as you can, will find a way as many as you can, and you find a lot of opportunities. And I'm not just talking about local, I'm talking about global as well. Because when you look out again, I'm keep on talking about we need to look out because I think there's a few social enterprise like I mean like GrabCycle, Pizza Eats, and like Langit. So some of them why they manage to scale faster because they look at international programs. And
Right.
international programming is making your learning curve faster.
Okay.
So I think the right age because it's more about energy, it's more about intent and budak-budak ni bila orang muda bila start something they love to share, post on social media and that is a
Yeah.
good start. Because when like some people I know there are people out there who are afraid to share their idea because takut kena curi. But one thing about idea ni, idea is cheap. Meaning that it's impossible that you have the only idea.
Betul.
But what makes you the different is how you implement. Like I don't mind telling all the audience here how I started GrabCycle, like every gist about it, like from A to Z. But it's still the difference is how you want to start. Number one. Number two, who's your demographic? I keep on telling people macam when they come to me, they share some idea, and then I'm macam, of course I've seen like a lot of ideas came to me, right? Then I'm like, hey, actually someone else dah buat benda sama.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me that you punya circle tak pernah dengar about this startup, then it makes sense for you to start. Because we have a big chunk. How many people in Malaysia itself? So kalau orang tak tahu benda ni, then you know lah you ada market.
Betul.
So that's why you have to share around because when you share, you don't know how many people can help you.
But that's actually breaking a lot of mental block where your
Yes, a
parents
lot.
say, kan your parents say, don't share, keep everything to
Mm-mm.
yourself.
Yeah.
Income and ideas, don't share.
Yeah, but that's why the term for startup is always fail fast, success fast. So there's a gap tau. Macam I notice people who yang start tech startup is more high risk. Diorang lagi macam gung ho, willing to take a risk yang berhenti kerja ataupun take 2 months or 3 months to do what they want because they really interested in what they do. Diorang macam I just want to go all out and get it done. But orang yang macam sorry to share this lah, like for social entrepreneurs, because they want to create impact, but in somehow they still worried about themselves, which is okay. Macam dia kata, oh, tapi tak ada gaji apa semua. But the issue is the main goal for this is actually setting a goal, meaning that, okay, I want to do this. I want to spend 3 months. 3
Right.
months ni all out. Tak ada gaji ke apa, tak apa. 3 months ni tak ada gaji. Then we'll see how it goes. Kalau 3 months ni tak berjaya, it's okay. You try. Because for me, I setting a goal like, I started by saying that 6 months. And then I pergi ke, okay, 1 year lah, 1 year. Then after the 1 year, another year. Then bila dah second, I cakap, okay, fine, I think I'm just gonna do this. So it's setting a goal so that you push a limit. Because when you tak set your goal,
Yeah.
you keep on doing and then macam buat. And then when you're not doing it full time, that's the problem lah.
Yeah, because your attention is somewhere else.
Yes.
Part-time work never works.
Part-time work never work. Part-time is only for you to validate, but if you really want to go big, you really have to. That's why I think student time dengan early days of your corporate world is a good time because time tu macam, contoh, obviously lah, when you corporate, I'm pretty sure kalau you tak procrastinate, you akan ada 1 hour, 30 minutes a day. So when you procrastinate, main phone apa semua, why don't you convert that into use that for validation lah. I mean, there's a lot of ways. I think for me, the fun part of running a business is the first stage, which is validation time too, because it's a time where you can explore a lot of ideas. I think that's what we do. When I was running Grab Cycle, every time we always get interns, or we always get interns for them. When they come in, I tell them like, okay, why don't you do whatever you want to do, but you use the name of Grab Cycle, because I think orang muda ni lagi creative.
Betul.
And I get them to start something, and then at least when they finish internship ke, atau they finish their work in like 1 year with Grab Cycle, at least when they left, they have something to proud of to say that, hey, that's what I did at Grab Cycle. So I think that's what we always believe, because I think the young people is more creative and is more into the zone of what's the current situation.
But you're also right in that sense, because last week we had a talk with an HR director dengan a CEO. They were saying things like fresh graduate needs to pad their resume, so to say, kan. So if they don't do something like this, they don't do internship or take up one year or 6 months working for a small company like that, there's no way that a bigger company, if they want lah, kerja dengan big to take them in. That's one of the, I think, that we saw problem for fresh graduate to get past the resume part.
Yeah, and also I think the issue is because now people are too stuck with especially for fresh graduate and also interns, too stuck with the monetary benefit. Like gaji tak cukup tinggi. I mean, of course gaji is important, but I feel you have to start somewhere, especially now with the current situation. It's really tough to find a job. And I feel if you can get an opportunity to work somewhere for even 500 or 1,000, 1,005, work for it and then get experience, because I think when people join Grab Cycle, I never expect them to work with me for more than a year. Okay. I told them, work with me for 1 year. After 1 year, if you still love me, love what you do, stay. But if you feel that we help you as much as we can, if you need to leave, let go. I mean, we have like longest employee lah, but then most of employee, when they say they want to leave, join another company, I encourage them, because I told them there's nothing much for me to teach you anymore, because we are startup. If you're ready to go corporate, you're ready to go big, I'm more than happy to help, because at least we short term diorang punya learning curve. I think that's the beauty of startup. Yes. Learning curve of like really understanding how it works. And of course, running a startup, you learn a lot of things because you have to multitask, kan?
But I'm sorry. I mean, talking to you, it's like breaking a lot of barriers here with the whole thing. You know, you gather like rolling stones don't gather moss. Kan, we've been told that dari kecil lagi kena stay, duduk, be loyal. But nowadays, you're right. Loyalty is secondary to experience and padding your resume, so to say.
Yeah. And now we've seen a lot of people in resume, they didn't even stay more than a year. For me, again, I'm not going to say what's right, what's wrong, because I think everyone has their own path. I've seen people who stay in a company for every 6 months and gaji naik. Good for him. But I also see people yang bila tukar-tukar kerja, ini asyik tukar kerja, tak dapat kerja. So there's no right or wrong. The only thing you can control is your character. If you have a good character, you go around, people talk about you, that's great. So that's why I think at the end of the day, you work startup, you work corporate, the character is important. And especially you want to start something, you have to be coachable. If you macam jenis yang belagak sikit, macam, this is my idea, the best, you tak faham apa you buat, it's tough. But you be like, I want to do this, I want to listen to you. But doesn't mean that he or she has to do what being told.
Right.
but at least have the attitude to listen. And then put it, what we call it macam, dulu ada apa, ice box, doing, done. Ice box ni semua, whatever idea yang came to me, people
Uh-uh.
suggest to me, I
Uh-uh.
just put kat ice box je.
I
And then
see.
slowly I take care. Sekarang ni buat satu dulu, buat satu dulu,
Ah,
buat satu dulu. Because of course idea yang I buat, they like, I think the pasar gerak idea, it was came to me in 2016,
mm-hmm.
but we didn't do it because we feel time tu tak ada
Not the
duit
right
lah,
time.
tak ada idea lah, we don't think we have
Mm-mm.
the resources. But
Mm-mm.
end up 2018 we launched, 2019 we launched it, and alhamdulillah we've been hiring a makcik from B40. So it will take time, but at least put in an ice box, not totally push it away, but it's more like put in an ice box. When you launch, you like say thank you to the people yang kind of like suggest it. So you build that character juga. Macam
Right.
oh yeah, I did suggest it. I didn't expect you to do it. Like, but at
Mm-mm.
least something. So at the end of the day, I think character is the most important.
Agreed. Hearing from what you said is the fact that yes, you work uh, character is satu. Wait, cuk. Let me get my thoughts right. Okay. We're talking about graduates, right? And their expectations, and sometimes, if I'm not mistaken, some of them, macam you cakap tadi, so rigid in not doing or wanting to do just one thing saja could be their downfall.
Yeah.
Kan? Um, how kalau you nak buat startup, people are saying Steve Jobs, for example, he has this, he's just one track mind and that's it. I don't care. I go
Yeah.
ahead. But
Yeah.
what you saying just now pun, you kata tak boleh. You cannot be like that. So how do you strike that balance?
Because it's about number one knowing, of course, number one knowing your role model. Not
Mhm.
everyone can be Steve Jobs.
Betul?
Especially now, like lagi, I'm gonna be on blunt here. Malaysian is more sensitive. If
Very
you
true.
work with people like Steve Jobs, next day dah gaduh, terus tak nak kawan, tak nak jumpa for the next how many years. Yeah, so we have to be reality here, right? So I mean,
We've
I've
been
seen,
there.
yeah, we've been. I mean, I had co-founder, I had fallout. It's normal.
Yeah.
So you have to see what you're doing actually. So like number one, which ecosystem are you in? Tech startup or social enterprise? Number two, what are you in? Are you doing tech? Are you doing helping the community? Are you doing on-ground traditional business? Are you selling a product? So different things has different way of dealing it. Like you have to, like example, you might, so some people yang bila tengok orang tu buat benda lain, you terus cakap macam, oh dia ni keep on tukar idea je, apalah
Yes.
dia ni tak tahu apa dia nak buat. But my main motto lah kan for myself, I always say fall in love with your vision, don't fall in love with your idea. So what is your vision? So when I started Grab Cycle, my vision is reduce food waste. In reality, there's so many ways to reduce food waste.
Mhm.
There's in connecting app with restaurants, help connecting surplus vegetable with tea, ataupun ambil surplus masak lain jadi restaurant. So there's so many ways. Meaning people might see me like, Reza ni sekejap Grab Cycle, sekejap pasar Grab, sekejap ni apa
Right.
semua. But little did they know, my goal is still the same. I'm still going towards direction of reducing food waste. So like Steve Jobs, I think my personal opinion, his vision is to make a cool cool technology like using phone ke computer, something like that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how you go. He create iMac, MacBook, iPhone, iPod. So the goal is still the same. But when, like for me, why I moved from Grab Cycle to Pasar Grab is because I think Grab Cycle is a bit like either stagnant or nothing can be done or maybe not the right time. I go to Pasar Grab. Now Pasar Grab slowly naik, and then actually June last year, I just launched another one called Oily Lane, where we collect used cooking oil from restaurants, make it into scented candles. So we slowly see bila dah a bit mature or stagnant, and then I have someone who 100% taking over. I go for another one. I run it. Bila I think dah stable sikit, I cari someone else to be the CEO, and then I cari balik. So it's more like you have to be open in that sense. But what's your vision, right? So if your vision is to create great food, it could be anything, right? Or great nasi goreng. It could be nasi goreng ayam, nasi goreng telur. So what is actually the reason why you do it?
Okay. So you're doing all this on turnkey basis lah ni.
Yeah. So
Kinda lah.
Yeah, kinda lah. Because I think for me, my goal is just creating a better environment.
Which is a good example for most fresh graduate, because sometimes you baru keluar uni semua kan, you are inundated with all these ideas. Oh my god, I want to do this, I want to do this. Yeah.
But kena buat lah, kena buat. You have to do it, then only you know whether it's worth something. Because we don't want to be like 3 years later, ada idea tu 3 tahun lepas, sekarang orang lain
Oh,
dapat. We want
ah,
that to remove from the student punya mindset.
I see. All right.
Hmm.
So I gather you have something to share with us?
Yes, I have something to share. I'll try to make it short so we can do Q&A. But what I want to share is more in terms of the social innovation in Malaysia
Okay.
and how magic can help you guys in terms
Cool.
of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me share
All
my
right.
screen.
All right. But before that, for the ones that's on Teams right now, kalau ada soalan ke apa-apa, please go ahead and pose it. We will try and jawab as much as possible.
Okay.
Okay. Here we
Alright,
go.
and I ada audience, live audience di sini, which I have a cat kat rumah. So kalau dengar miau-miau tu, masa dia tengah setuju lah apa yang cakap.
You ada berapa kucing you?
Ada 8.
Oh my God, serious?
Yes, yes. So they are my audience lah. So at least I know if they say meow, I know I'm being engaging lah. Alright. Okay, guys. What I'll do is I'll try to make it short on what magic is all about, how we can help, and then later we can do more of a Q&A lah. Right. So just a quick one on me. I think I did share a few things. So I started in oil and gas industry because I think that's totally what my parents want to join a finance because I have a finance background and they want me to join the same sector. So I worked in oil and gas for 2-3 years. And of course, being a student, being young, I'd be like, after 2-3 years, I'm like, okay, I'm done. Benda ni macam duduk office je type. I need to do something. So I was lucky to be to know this angel investment company. And my boss at the time, he told me that Reza, join me for 1 year, and then maybe after that you can see you want to start your own startup. You can by looking at all the industry. So after 1 year joining that company, then he told me that Reza, you have 3 things that you can do in the company. Number 1 is finance. Number 2 is project management. Number 3, he wants me to focus anything that's not related to the company. And because he knows I love to do charity, that's why he told me about this social enterprise. And because of that, that whole year, my goal was just to do research on social enterprise, social entrepreneurship, their business model, their like success stories, case studies. After 1 year doing my research, then he told me, Reza, your second year KPI, either you start on your own or you mentor them or find a way how to get involved. And that's where I heard about Magic Accelerator Program. And I took a pay cut. I joined it for 3-4 months, running. At the end of the program, as he seen that my business is my grab circle is starting to like get traction, then he told me, Reza, if you want to do good to God, you have to do it full time. And then he told me, and then I'm like, are you kicking me out apa semua? And then only he say something like, no, I'm not kicking you out, but this is just approved because we keep on telling people, if you want to start a startup, you have to commit yourself. So unless either I do grad school full time or I hire someone. And I took a risk where I decided to do it full time. And Alhamdulillah, we raised more than 1 million within 6 months. We won numerous award, Go Global program, and that's where it is. 5 years later, I feel that I've been in the investment industry. I've been in a startup or social enterprise industry. Now I feel that there's a lot of gaps that needs to be done, which is why I joined Magic. I feel like I'm joining Magic to more like give back. Magic helped me to start. Now I want to help Magic to see how we can help more people like me to grow their social enterprise or social innovation. So here is, I'm going to share a few more about social innovation development. In case you guys are wondering, sekejap social innovation, sekejap social enterprise. Yes, before this, there's always a term called social enterprise, social entrepreneurship. But moving forward, we feel that with the technology coming in, actually social enterprise is already social innovation in a way. It's just that social innovation is more of trying to include a bit more tech in terms of how you want to create impact. Because we feel that including technology in your creating of impact means you can scale the impact bigger. I think that's what been missing. We've been like so much of a jago kampung of your own area, how you want to go up. So that's the idea of how social innovation comes in. So in case for people who doesn't know Magic, Magic is a Malaysian Global Innovation and Creative Center. We are based in Cyberjaya. We are under MOSTI, and our aim is, of course, to introduce technology-driven, sustainability-driven, which align to SG 2030 and SPB 2030. This is our building, which I haven't been there for I don't know how many months. Hopefully, I can go there soon. Again, our goal is we want to create a vibrant and sustainable social innovation ecosystem. So timeline. So I'm just going to talk more on the SE punya side. So 2015, we started with SE Blueprint. And also because of our SE Blueprint, we talk about what is social enterprise. Then we do a lot of bootcamp and accelerator. And then because of the success of Klang Valley, we feel that there's a need to go beyond Klang Valley. So we create a program called Sehati, where it's we visit 12 states, 12 cities in Malaysia. We go really grassroots, do some bootcamp about social enterprise, and also do some like helping them lah if they want to help their own problem statement apa semua. And then 2017, we partner with I Am For You, which is now Impact Malaysia, to create a matching grant. I think 2 for 1, meaning that if you raise, example, 2,000, the government will give you 4,000 matching grant for you to start your impact idea, social enterprise. It's no longer available now, but it was launched in 2017. And then 2018, where we first launched Buy for Impact. We feel that now, because at that time, right, the first 4 years, 3-4 years, people don't know what is social enterprise. People will be like, ya, you're running business ke charity? Kalau nak tolong charity, kenapa kita beli? So we started this campaign called Buy for Impact to spread the awareness, to get people to know what is actually social enterprise. But at that time, it's only a once a year punya program. And this year, we end of last year, we bring back, and now it's going to be a full year campaign. I'll share more about that later. And so 2019 is where MIDAC just launched, and then they create this called Social Enterprise Accreditation. So it's not like belum lagi reach level SSM lagi, but if you are being accredited by MIDAC, you will get tax exemption. And next year there will be a program called EPIC, which is a perolehan for government to procure from social enterprise. You will also be eligible for that. So the idea is that we want to make it like a bit more, at least ada lah criteria ke identification that you are SE. Because before this started, anyone can just call themselves an SE, then they take advantage of the real SE and to do something. And then there's also push. I'll share more about that. We're helping 30 social enterprise to scale, where they help B40 on their business. And lastly, last year, because of course pandemic really hit hard from everyone, so that's where we launched Penjana SIM Grant. So this is one of the initiatives that I will share you guys a bit more detail on how you yourself, everyone here in the session, can apply for it. I'll go this. Okay, so we did last year. What we did was, before pandemic happened, we did a social enterprise knowledge day, a one-day course to public to really understand about what is fundamentals of social entrepreneurship. We did around 33 workshops with government agency, private sectors, corporate and universities. We talked to almost more than 1,500 aspiring people in more than 7 states. And then that's Push. So Push is actually a scale-up program. There's 30 social enterprise joined the program, and then what they receive is a grant for them to help the B40. So most of them, all these 30 participants, they hire underprivileged community to be their employee. So that's where how Push assists for them to create a bigger impact by providing income to a marginalized community. And also for accreditation, as at 31st December, we have 48. This is current number for now, and this is some of the example of accredited social enterprise. We have Earth Air, Batik Boutique, Langit, and basically in different sector. This is so basically I'll just share some examples, right? So like we have like Langit. What they do is they are market intermediary for Sarawak smallholder rural farmers. They sell like traditional rice from Sarawak and then make it commercialized, because basically they cut all the middle person for that. And then we have Made Easy, providing income to B40 cleaners. We have Suri. What they do is they take your used jeans, like unused jeans, and they make it into a bag, and then they hire B40 to create to the one who sew the bag. So during the pandemic, when it was just started, I think around April or May, and of course at the time a lot of people needed help. So NGO Hub, Alliance Bank, Citron Capital and Magic, we did a crowdfunding campaign where we worked with 11 social enterprise, where we fundraised around more than 200K. So what they did is, most of these social enterprise, they together they create face masks and hand sanitizer, because of course at the time some of them already have their own like face mask on their own. But when they heard a lot of people need support, collectively they work together, they combine all the beneficiaries, then they provide this hygienic essential and also survival essential. Some of them, like we have Community Tukang Jahit, Batik Boutique, Nas Kids. So them are like one of the few who really combine all their beneficiaries to do the face mask. And like Salad Bar, Pasagra, Masala Wheels, Green Hero, they basically provide food with the packed foods or vegetables to the B40. And then we have like Asliko, Halaman Rani, they provide the hand sanitizer. So this is all like collectively we raise, and then NGO Hub is the one who get the report from the SE to say how many beneficiaries from their end, how many beneficiaries from their end, then they support based on the money they're being given. So let's go for this year, right? I think enough for me. I always believe that yes, pandemic is a tough period. It was happened last year. Some of them managed to rise again. Some of them still trying to find a foot to stand still. But I think whatever happened. Now we're into 2021. Let's look for the future and what are available initiatives that can be that you can join or for you to start something, right? So in Magic, from social innovation side, the main two things is we have social impact matching grant and the buy for impact. So social impact matching grant is actually we have 5 pillars of impact that you can focus on. We have environmental protection, we have food security, health and social well-being, community livelihood, and heritage preservation. The idea is that if you have an idea to create an impact under these 5 categories, you need to raise funds yourself first. Down here, you can see there's 6 crowdfunding platform that we suggested, but doesn't mean you have to go through them. You can either get your money from corporates or personal, but the goal is you need to raise your money first, and then Magic will match 1-for-1. Example, if you raise 30K, Magic will give you another 30,000 for you to create the impact, which is why we call it double the impact. For every ringgit crowdfunded, you receive another through the social impact matching grant. So who can apply, right? Number one, if you're a business entity. So of course, you cannot go there without a successful crowdfunding campaign. You need to get at least 80% of your targeted crowd fund, then only you can go to Magic and apply. So number one, if you're a business entity with successful crowdfunding campaign, and you are existing accredited social enterprise under the National SE accreditation, you can get as high as 500,000 ringgit of matching grant. Meaning you raise 500, we give you another 500, then you will have 1 million for you to start, for you to create that project or start creating an impact. But don't worry, if you are not an SEA, because of course SEA 48 je kan. So if you're not an SEA, you need to meet this following criteria. You must be a clear social and environmental goal. You must have more than 30% of revenue is earned as opposed to via contribution grant. Meaning your business though, the business that you have right now is not a grant-driven business. Meaning 30% of your revenue coming into the business must be from your sales. And then you also must fulfill one of the following: at least 30% workforce from beneficiary, minimum 50% of business costs is spent on achieving environmental mission, and also 30% of profit distributed back to the business operation to achieve your social environmental mission. If you fit these 3 criteria, you can get as high as matching of 250,000 ringgit. But then again, I say, alamak, I tak meet semua ni lah, how? It's okay. We don't want, like I said, like awal tadi, I said we want to try to be as fair as we can. So if you're an individual or a business entity, you just started, meaning you don't have a business or your business is not fit to the top 2. If you have a clear plan to address a social or environmental concern, you have a target beneficiary, and somehow you also have what you call it like a plan to make your business viable after the end of the grant finish. You can get as high as 20K. So this is how we want to be fair. Meaning, if you're already an SE, like accredited, you get 500. If you're non-accredited, you can get as high as 250. But if you're not accredited, and then even if you are a student, you can get as high as 20K. But again, the goal is, the criteria is, you have to raise funds first. Then baru you boleh apply. Because they want to see a commitment from you. Again, running a business, I've seen a lot of people are like, they apply for a program and then diorang tanya, dah start belum? Saya tunggu grant masuk dulu lah baru nak start. Start tak ada duit lah baru nak start. That is not the right attitude or character to start with. because there's so many ways for you to start something without getting the money. Do a survey, do it on ground, do yourself. So we want you to see a commitment from you first. If you can get the money, then it shows that okay, he's committed, he got the money in. Now let's give him a matching grant. So this is on matching grant, but unless you don't fit any criteria, then yeah, you're not eligible to apply lah. But I think benda macam ni semua is actually, of course, in Magic we have a team to really assist you. When you apply, then the team Magic will assist you lah. If you have question, they will talk to you, say okay, this is what you need to do. So we are here to help because this penjana grant is total of 10 million ringgit, and it must be spent. I mean, it must be disbursed before July this year. So meaning that there's a lot of funds out there. You just need to make sure that you can have a grab of it lah. It's a lot. 10 million is a lot, and I think right now there's still more than I think almost 8 million, 9 million left. It's still a lot. So don't worry. As long as you once you're ready, you have a proper plan, then you apply, and we will assist you because from Magic point of view, the money is already there. We want to help as many as businesses out there or individual out there to earn that part of the chunk. Okay. Okay, so that is SIM grant. I mean, I'll take Q&A later, then we'll try to answer as much as we can. So buy for impact pula. So we talk about, as you can see kan, banyak program is talking about how to start a social enterprise, how to start social innovation, but there's not enough program to help yang dah start. Because diorang dah start, contoh dah start 6 bulan, setahun, then what's next kan? Macam, oh dah nak jual, dia boleh jual kat diorang punya community je. Macam mana diorang nak go beyond? So that's the idea for buy for impact. We want to do campaign to celebrate diorang punya impact. So it's a campaign that aims to promote conscious buying. So from Magic point of view, what we want to do is we are not taking anything from social enterprise, but we want to help to promote to public and private sector especially. So because right now we know procurement, contoh every year dia akan kasih like gift set ke apa for their employee. But why don't this gift set comes from a locally made with an impact businesses? So that's where the idea of Buy for Impact comes in. We already have 8 company pledges so far, like Maxis, Lazada, UN. So this is where we want to help as in terms of this movement. So this is a website that we have. You guys can check it out, www.buyforimpact.co. So we have like a live stream video. We did a 20 question with SE where we go on ground. Like I think there's one follow farm. We went down to Johor. And we do like a 3 to 5 minutes video of pusing kat farm dia while asking about what they do. So then they share lah. And then we also have a market hall SE. So these are all the product of SE yang already have product to sell. And of course, we are also in Lazada. And okay, so to share the current initiative that I shared just now, we have SIM grant for you guys to apply. We also have social procurement, which is related to Buy for Impact juga. We have SE incentive. So if you are a social enterprise, we'll try to connect you with branding consultant, tax consultant, and few more so that you can have at least a better rates per semua. And so we have a mentorship access. Right now, we are partnering with PwC to provide a free mentorship untuk social enterprises. But of course, later more, we have more and more corporate to join. Like this is all yang jadi mentor ni semua director, CEO, manager. So they are like giving back to the society by helping to assist like 30 minutes mentorship session, etc. Long term, of course, we want to do like what we call corporate social innovation, meaning that we want to work with corporate giants to say like, what's your problem statement? And we will source you social enterprise to solve your corporate statement. So indirectly, they work closely with social enterprise to solve their business process, and meaning it help to be more inclusive and sustainable manner. And in the long run, hopefully, we can try to create more policy incentive for social enterprise, like tax incentive, boot camp, campaign, university training, impact investment, and many more. So that's it for me. Now, actually, I'm open for questions.
Okay, looks interesting. Okay, you guys can post your questions. Just type aja lah dekat kita punya chat box tu.
Yes.
Kejap.
So yes. This is just some of the programs we have lah, because I think for me there's a lot. I mean, Malaysian government is so generous by having a lot of agencies. Magic is one of it. I know we have like MDEC. We have few more. I think MDEC did a pocket talk juga. So I think there's a lot of agency, but it's important for you when you want to start, you identify which agency has sesuai untuk you, because every agency have their own strength. I think for social innovation, Magic will be the main primary one for now.
I like the idea about you're talking about your social enterprise semua kan. But one thing you're right also, the fact that I may have a good idea, but I don't know where to go. Even sometimes when you check out a website like Magic new website, ke Midat ke ataupun MDAT new website, you still don't know, you know.
Yes.
So can they actually katalah these fresh graduates kata, okay, besides sending in their inquiries via the via the email that you showing
Share.
right now,
Uh,
sharing, can they actually just go to you and say, hey, Cik Reza, can you help me on this?
yeah.
I know it's taking a lot of time, but do you actually do that? Do you
Yeah.
actually help?
So
You do.
right
Okay.
now, I don't know whether to say sadly or happily. I'm like the brain for now. I'm like the hub. Because I think right now, based on my experience, that's why I somehow kind of like know where to go. But
Uh-huh.
recently, November, December hari tu,
Uh-huh.
there's a program called myhackathon.com.my. Hackathon is a program led by Mosti,
Mm-hmm.
and what they do is it's a program to solve 6 problem statement. And one of the problem statement that was being pushed is this issue of not knowing what is agency offer. Like right
Okay.
now, like we don't know, like you mentioned just now kan, orang pergi
Mm-mm.
MDEC, pergi website tapi semua blur. Like, tapi MDEC ni buat
Ah.
apa? Magic buat apa? So
Uh-uh.
one of the solution was to create a platform to be the middle ground of everything, like aggregator.
Right.
So it's currently being done. I mean, the winner are being announced. So the
Mm-hmm.
winner will work with one of the agency for 1 year
Mm-hmm.
to create that platform. But in the meantime, of course, I'm more than happy. I think what I'll do is I'll just leave my email here, and
Cool.
then I'm more than happy to assist. If anyone have, like, I'm not sure where to go apa semua, I can assist. So example, they will come. I know some people, like, they will come to me and say like, so Riza, I have this business, this
Mm.
idea.
Uh-uh.
Which agency that works best? So I will be like, okay, I'm not saying works best, but this is some example that you can try lah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll be your best friend now.
Yeah. And because I think one of I see common thing kan,
Mm.
people lupa nak see beyond of what they can do. Like sometimes we are too stuck up to the idea that we want to do A, we
Yeah.
forgot that there's another like B, C, D, E, F, G. So when they fail with A, they terus macam give up. Macam, I tak boleh lah. Terus macam, I don't think these things works without even trying as hard as they can. So I think that's the biggest challenge lah.
I think in terms of everything, even in our lives, we do need sounding board, kan?
Yes, correct.
Someone with a different point of view, which would be that gives us that kononnya bigger view of the world.
Yeah, true.
So I guess for fresh graduate, they'll be hoping you be it for them lah.
Inshallah.
Macam mentor gitu.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
okay.
normal, right? I think parents can be either a good sounding board or a conservative sounding board. Because there are parents yang macam betul-betul, I seen parents yang not in startup way, but diorang macam parents ni, diorang pergi like Genting Highland ke Cameron Highland, tapi dia tinggalkan anak dia duduk dengan orang asli kat bawah for 2-3 days. I've seen that kind of parents. So that's why I said there are parents that really supportive.
Right.
There are also parents that conservative yang macam, no, you have to live this life. So when I met this kind of my friends yang macam having a tough time, I said that go to your parents and just make a deal. Like say that 6 months, give me 6 months, give me 1 year. If I fail, I will do whatever you say. Then of course the parents say yes, okay, harap dia fail kan. Tapi you make it as your motivation.
Right.
Like for me, every time I close gambar apa semua cloud media, I don't share to my friends. The first thing I do is I want to share to my parents, because actually the only place I share is to my parents, because I will tell them like I'm being serious on this.
Right. Because I bet you also had your hurdles dengan your parents dulu kan?
Of course, I mean, of course, bila hurdle tu happen dulu, I don't share to my parents lah. I mean, like I did mention I went to like global program apa semua, but what I didn't mention was I was sleeping at the airport, like baru present pakai suit semua, but malam tu dengan pakai suit tapi tidur kat airport, like that kind. And then of course there's a breakdown. Startup is not as rosy as it is, but what I can assure is a totally fun thing to do.
I think in a nutshell, a startup is your attitude and your perseverance.
Yeah.
I hope I said it correctly. Okay. We have a question from Henry.
Okay.
Do we really have to start up a new thing, or is it actually okay to run a business when there's a matured company in the market? That means you're
Okay.
going to be a competitor to that company.
Okay. So actually, it's okay both ways.
All right.
Because it looks at what's your end goal. If you are doing it out of passion, I think you can start a new thing. Or you can, sorry, that's not the right word. So what's your end goal? Your end goal, if you just want to, you feel that we're doing this, even though there's a matured company in the market, there's two
Mm-hmm.
things you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, either you just want to be in your space, be sustainable, dapat just nice like example, 5K, 3 to 5K a month, I'm happy like that. Okay
Mm-hmm.
je. But if you say like, I want to do something and I'm hoping that this company will buy me out, boleh juga.
Ah,
But
okay.
the truth is, there's the pros and cons. If you want to start something new, you're going to spend more on marketing. You're going to, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, not just spend more money, but spend more time because you need
Mm-hmm.
to educate people about what you do.
That's true.
But if you are doing something that's very matured, then it's easier when people are like, oh, okay, it's already being done. We know it works, but what is your unique value? So that's pros and cons. So when we example, I go back to Grab Cycle.
Mm-hmm.
When I started Grab Cycle, the pros is that when I talk about food waste, orang terus faham. Yeah, food waste is a big thing.
Right.
But when I talk about solution, when I talk to public in terms of when I share to public, they'll be like, benda ni boleh jadi ke? I share to restaurants, dia macam boleh jadi ke? Tak pernah orang buat pun.
Mm-mm.
But when I
Mm-mm.
talk to investor, it's different because when I talk to investor, I share that Too Good To Go has been running in 8 countries in Europe. Karma just raised 11 million USD of investment. So
Mm.
from investor point of view, wow, this thing has been happening a lot in other countries. It's really matured. Now it's just a matter of time for us to make it happen in Malaysia. But for public pula, they'll be like, this is something new. So we have to educate more. So that's why there's a pros and cons. Are you ready to really spend a lot of effort to educate people, or you just want to make sure that you just want to show that you're a differentiator and hopefully people will like buy you ke, atau you want to have a
Mm.
quick. Sometimes doing something that is already matured, you can have a quick bucks, meaning that your area tu orang tak tahu tentang you. You
Yep.
can get as many revenue as they can, but then
Mm-hmm.
when you want to go bigger, when you're fighting with a bigger fish, then you're stagnant. Yeah, so that's a bit the pros and cons. I would say it's up to you, but I would suggest you to find a way how to start something new because that's more fun.
Fun, yes, but it's also very. I think it's stressful actually.
Yeah, stressful,
Fun.
but you learn a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, you really because it will totally push you to figure out what are the things that can be done beyond the current thing. Because when you Google can,
Uh-uh.
when you Google the same thing, inshallah, but when you do something like totally new, you will
Mm-hmm.
find a lot of like cool things and or like more fun or more variable more validation that can be done. Like when I started this, of course I look too good to go as my model at the time. I
Yep.
email, of course diorang tak layan apa semua, but 3 years later I went to Berlin for a
Uh-huh.
program,
Uh-huh.
and then my mentor now is a former director of Too Good To Go. Like
Ah,
who would have thought, right?
yeah.
So that's why I said go back to the most cliche. If your intention is nice, if your intention is correct, things will just go to you
Fall
without
into
you notice.
place.
But it will take time. It will totally take time.
Yeah, that's that. Your cat's not happy, but
Itulah. Sorry.
no, it's okay. But the thing is, you're right. It does take time. Startup is just what. That's one thing I do understand. Startup is just not overnight. I mean, you do get your the sensation of one or two that does well overnight, but majority, betul, correct me if I'm wrong. There, it takes time. Years, in fact.
Yeah, true. It will take years. So I was having a session with my friend in US earlier today, and she asked me a question like, how do you know the growth is good?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you need a 2 months grow? Do you need a 6 months grow? Or do you need a 1 year grow? And I told her that it varies. It varies on the business. So when people come to me, kan, macam kawan-kawan, kan, when they
Mm-hmm.
see like I've been doing startup for like 5 years, the first question they will tell me like, "Hey Reza, I want to be like you. Can you mentor me?" Then the
Mm-hmm.
next question I ask them, you wanna start a business to make money or out of passion? Like quick money or out of passion? Because if you want to do quick money, I'm not the right person.
Right.
Because I mean, I'm not trying to like separate people, rezeki apa semua, but for me, if you want to do quick money, you're selling products, you're selling food. If you want to do like F&B, macam gerai-gerai, or you want to sell like products in terms like example handbag ke baju, that is actually a good business to earn you money in the fastest way. If you have the right marketing, you get the money really fast. But if you do something out of passion, social enterprise, like impact apa semua, or maybe tech startup, that's passion as well, it will take time. You won't see the money the first 2 months, 6 months, or maybe 1 year. So that's why when they come to me, I ask them, what's your goal? If you want to make money, I'm not the person. You look for more like coach outside, guru-guru out there yang buat Facebook apa semua. They will teach you that, okay, you have baju, you have a buku, how you want to sell this buku within one month and dapat 10k revenue. That's money. But if you want to do out of passion, you have to understand you might not get as much revenue in the early days, but trust me, your heart will be clean, and your money will come slowly by then. Like, of course, when I started, I don't have much commitment. My salary is lower. There are days that I don't take salary. It's for my employee. But now, alhamdulillah, I see a lot of people are like, even my former employee that kerja company lain. I'm more happy to see that because I think, what's your goal, right? So it will take time. So they must be clear since day one. So that's the reality. You cannot say like, I'm not doing it for the money, tapi buat passion sebulan je dah ada hilang passion. Then that's not passion lah.
Yeah, you're driven by your cash flow or your P&L.
Yeah. And also
it's not wrong though.
It's not wrong. And also because for me, if you wanna, another advice I give, you guys, any of you guys, if you're thought of something, if you still not doing it after 1 week, you will lose the fire.
True.
Yeah. Because if you want to do something, call your friends, validate, do research. Kalau dalam 1 week, 2 weeks kan, you still macam tiki-taki, delay, macam nak buat ke tak, the fire will be blown out and then you dah malas tak. But kalau you semangat, you call orang. So before I started Grab Cycle, every time I see something, I call my friends. Like orang yang I feel like the right demographic. Until I know some people macam, dapat je call I, ni yang kawan I tak borak tau. Macam tak borak lain, tanya startup je. Then macam, Reza, ada idea ke? So, and then 1 week later kan, and then like 1 week or whenever I met them, like maybe 1 month, 2 months later, they will ask me, hari tu apa cerita kata nak buat ni? Then I'm like, then I know, number one, they do care about it. I mean, I know there's a demand. And also give me motivation like, actually I should do it. So that's why if you have something, talk to your friends, do research. But if in 1 week, 2 weeks, benda tak gerak, the chances of you going to do it is quite low because you might lose that motivation.
That's true. Okay, looks like we've exceeded our time.
Yes.
Wow.
Sorry guys, banyak cakap pula.
No, it's okay. It's really interesting. Any last words, Reza?
I think for me, my last word will be magic is there, online, virtually, email. So feel free to contact us. If you have any social innovation idea or social entrepreneurship idea, feel free to contact either in the shared slide just now or even contact me. And for me, I think people at Magic, especially on the SIT, we are really, really passionate in creating a better value for social and environment. We will always try our best to see how you can best fit to the program, especially social impact matching grant. Again, it's 10 million up for grabs, and you can get as low as 5k. So I really hope a lot of people will explore it. Even you, Adi, if you have any idea, you can explore even the 5k. We will try our best to help.
All right, cool. Thank you very much for being with us today. Inshallah, we'll see you on a different platform.
Inshallah, not in virtual.
Can't. Anyway, we hope you have enjoyed today's talk. Remember to register to get your free invite to our virtual event, which is next week, happening Monday and Tuesday. Just go to myref.org.my or Voices My. To get the full Voices Malaysia experience, do download Voices Malaysia app at iOS or Play Store. Just search for Voices MY. Yeah? Till we see you inshallah, next week. Remember to always sanitize your hands, use mask wherever you are out and about, and maintain the required social distance. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane. Thank you very much.
Bye. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.